I don't know. Like they just like it's been out there forever. We've got pictures of all of it. So why the fuck do they want to destroy it? Was there a ritual that had to be had? Was there? That's why there was blood on top of it, and or like what's the deal? Like now a Travis Scott concert where you? Sorry, that's too soon. But like you know what I mean?
No, it's a great pull, and you're absolutely right. It's kind of like one of these deals where it is ritualistic because it has to be. It has to be overt and out in the open. Now, who's to interpret any of this shit anyway? Because it's all. It's all fucking consensus reality. So you can interpret, even from me, like I could step back at this observer spot and just go, okay, I could run down this rabbit hole with it and I could see where that goes. Yes. And I could see, that validates and validates and validates. And then I can see it this way as well. And I'm like, I could also do the same that way. So this is what I think something like this offers us, is the opportunity to kind of figure out our discernment, and to calibrate our compass a little bit and to say, maybe there's some elements of this that's all true. But, there's a lot of it that's bullshit. And so that's what I've kind of trained myself to do, is really just focus on what I feel intuitively is just absolute fucking nonsense. And then just kind of look from there, like go the opposite way from there.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So some of the Guidestone decrees or whatever suggestions were pretty I can agree with some of them. I don't think any of us couldn't. I think the biggest issue was the first one: maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So that one, which is weird. Like if we live in a world full of NPCs and there's just a bunch of vessels here, like are the vessels, is it a lot of maintenance and upkeep? Are there cutbacks going on in the simulation and they need to, lower the, populace of inventory here so that they can kind of rein things in on the, tighten things up a little bit, right?
Okay, so looking at it from that perspective, when I heard that, the very first time I heard that phrase about keeping the human population underneath this many people, I was like, yeah, there's too many fucking people in the world.
That's a psyop. We're not overpopulated. That's a psyop.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I know. There's plenty of fucking shit. There's plenty of shit. Yeah. Scarcity is a psyop. It's like the diamond industry. Like there's plenty of fucking diamonds, man. They just hold back supply to make the value increase. And so it's the same thing on everything. It's
thing
fucking,
with oil.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Absolutely same thing with oil. Good call. So the second one was to guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. So like, this is just saying, like, don't be a fatterton. You know what I mean? Like, take care of yourself, right? It's not and if you want to do that, that's fine. But what this is saying is maybe don't, maybe just like go for a walk. I mean, get a dog. Like, dogs are great, dude. You should they want to go outside all the time.
Run for fun.
The guide reproduction wisely, though, that's all eugenicsy. That's like not letting nature run its course. That's like you can't be with you because, you have the genetic predisposition for like Alzheimer's, so you can't breed. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. I'm not a fan of the eugenics Nazi bullshit. Yeah. But I mean, I think everybody could, stand for a good walk every now and then. That's all I'm saying. I'm not go with what 100%. You feel.
Don't get fat. Walk.
Or if you get fat, like rocket, or whatever, just don't.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Just work out.
Just be happy.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. I know that you feel better when you work out, so maybe just try that. All right, so the 100%. Third one, though, is unite humanity with a living new language. So unite humanity with a living new language. So that's like saying like we would all speak, I don't know, what, like German or something, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't math
they tried
to
do that before.
Isn't like math or music like a living new language? 100%. See, but what's new language?
I think math is the language we all speak, right?
I don't do math for shit. So if I'm having to communicate with that, we're fucked.
I'm pretty good at 2 + 2, but like, the only class I've ever failed in my entire life was geometry, and I apparently am not good with shapes.
No, Ryan, it's a circle.
Oh.
But
3 sides to 1.
Yes.
Oh wait, is that a thing? I don't need to do that.
It's a goddamn thing. You can't do that. Well, you can, but we'll speculate. Well, I'll take a screenshot of it and I'll put it up. So humanity, but the living new language is what's interesting. So living new language, I guess they're just talking about speaking or whatever. But are they meaning like some sort of hieroglyphics is the only thing I can think of, because the only thing universal right now that we could all probably go, yeah, I understand what that means, is like emojis, right? So. Right. If you think about it this way,
oh my God!
if they're wanting to like kind of shift this into some new living language, it may just be some sort of like hieroglyphics. We may just go back to hieroglyphic type of symbols to communicate.
Well, think about this. Like if the internet goes down and we're all just sitting here carving in rocks, little winky face emojis and shit to each other. Like,
yeah.
Oh, this must be the place to get water. How do you draw a tongue? You know, like
exactly. No, it's a great point because you think about it, you're not gonna scribe the word fucking like water. You know, you'll put like a droplet on it or something.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't have enough stone. Just
put
a water droplet. Yeah.
Well, and then you could go to like a Chinese character for water. You know, it's a great symbol. Like that would again kind of be the stair step. And there's a shitload of people that are already like down with that, you know, ways of communication. So that could be an interesting one. And maybe also this could be spun to be like sort of an implant of some kind to where like now there's a neural link type of a language to where you don't need to speak. Basically, it's like a telepathic, but technologically enhanced telepathy. And maybe
Elon Musk.
Yeah, fucking dude's a lizard person. I'm calling that.
He's going to put shit in your body and you're going to be connected to the internet and be like,
no, thank you. No pegging me, Mr. Elon Musk. I appreciate it, though.
We may already be connected to the internet. And
I'm pretty sure they're spraying graphene all over us, dude. It's all fucking AI. It's all weird. I think that they're spraying the graphene all over us because we needed a system upgrade because the simulation, we're getting too good at cracking it. You know, it's kind of like when you probably do this too. Like when I watch a movie, I already know the ending. You know, no matter how many twists and turns it takes, I'm like, this bitch did it, and here's why. And it's like the directors will leave those for the second time that you watch it, but you're not really meant to catch them the first time, and you're supposed to be taken on this ride. But anyway, so it's kind of like that, right? Okay, so the fourth one is to rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. What the fuck is wrong with that? Like you rule passion, like faith and tradition, just do it with tempered reason. Like just don't go fucking blowing people up with a suicide bomb because of your religion. Like that sounds to me, that's how I'm interpreting this. It's like don't go extremes with your beliefs to the point to where they interrupt the lives and happiness and sovereignty of others. Like go fucking nuts on believe it in this, you know, the man in the clouds, whatever, have the God, don't have the God, whatever. But it's like that shit. Like that one, that's how I'm interpreting it, and that's how I feel. Tradition as well. And I like that they put the word tradition in there because it's the same thing as like, national holidays and shit, like traditions of culture that, you know, again, affect kind of like the sovereignty of others. Cause there was a time in our country where it was cultural to like drag people out of their houses and like hang them and burn them and like put bitches on stakes and like burn them on the, you know, stake and shit. And all these,
I'm not a witch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She turned me into a newt. So it's like those things are like
I did not.
Yeah, that's when the lack of reason runs amok, and so that's kind of the things I think about whenever I read something like that. So the fifth one is to protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
Well, how can you go wrong with that? That sounds nice to me.
Yeah, the anarchist in me feels because there's a lot of language in there I'm not a fan of. So protect people. So protect is it's definitely subjective because, you know, your idea of protecting someone is not somebody else's idea of being protected or maybe what needs to be protected in the first place.
That's a really good point.
Well, we see this shit all the time with what our government does with the Hegelian dialect shit, with the problem, reaction, solution shit. All the false flags and stuff like that. Like that's like protect. Oh, we're protecting you. Just 2 weeks. To flatten the curve, guys. We're protecting you. No. Take all these shots. Like we're protecting you, you know? So it's that kind of language, and anything like fair, like people in nations with fair laws. Fair, again, is subjective. Like, oh, well, that's totally fair for you to be locked up in this camp for the rest of your life because you're spreading ideas that maybe this isn't a good thing for everyone else. And that's not fair for our laws because in our just courts, because again, that's subjective too. It's like, what's a just court? We allegedly have just courts now and they're finding people that have been in jail for 30 years that didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. You know, shit like that. That one's got me
all
out.
of those years of us hanging out on top of buildings in downtown Houston, smoking weed with lawyers, really paid off for you, dude. Because like I didn't hear that until you broke it down for me.
I'm just looking at it as you are. I'm just here. We're just talking about it together.
I just heard like being fair and doing things. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great to me. And you're like, well wait a second.
Hang on. What this could be interpreted as, this is just how I see it, you know?
I love it, dude. No, I love it.
So yeah, 5 we're out on. Fuck off with 5, RC Christian. Okay, so 6 is let all nations rule. internally resolving external disputes in a world court. So this is saying like no more world wars. Now, the reason wars exist, I mean, we know this, is because, they need money and they want control and they want to make, keep the appearance that there's really battles and that you should be scared and that there's not enough. And like they got to keep that idea going, right? And so this is why we have wars. So then the question would become, well, what would replace that monetary and control that they get over us with this new, addition here? What do you think? So let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. So no more wars, right? Like you can battle your own people, but no more wars.
I mean, dude, I don't even know what to say.
So think about it this way. Think about it this way. Right when I said it, it just came to mind. Again, I haven't broken this down ever. So thanks for hanging out with me and doing this, dude. This is fucking fun. Are you enjoying this?
It is cool. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. This is awesome.
So let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Okay, so here's what my mind says whenever I read that. Let all nations rule internally. Okay, that's saying that any nation is its own prison, okay? And so you can slaughter your own people. You can do whatever you want with your own people. This is what the Nuremberg Code had in it as well. And this is why geoengineering, fuck geoengineering. This is why this happens in your countries, is because it's perpetrated by your own government. Because under the Nuremberg Code, you can't use chemical warfare against another nation, but you can use it on your own motherfuckers. And that's why they do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they just spray us. So when I see this rule internally, yeah, it makes more sense. So this means that no one else can intervene, like the America, on atrocities on another country because it's not ruled by us. It's ruled internally. They can do whatever they want to their people. You see what I'm saying? So this is just like contained genocide. This would be a way of isolating genocide. And then the external disputes in a world court would be like anyone trying to rally up and fight against this or escape from one country to another. And maybe it could be like, no, you're supposed to die over here, and you escape to like Switzerland where they're cool with, you just hanging out or whatever. You can't do that. Like underground railroads and shit. I don't know, man. Like that's where my mind goes when I see shit like that.
Holy cow.
Fucking Guidestones. We're doing it. We'll just do this more. This is fun.
This is fun.
All right.
That's cool, dude. You got a good look on that. I like it. I like it.
Just looking at it. It's fun. So 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Boom. That should have been number 1. See, and then even this though, I'm gonna even make this fucking dumb. Avoid, okay? Like, oh, we tried, but we couldn't avoid it. So this law is this law now. Oh, guys, we wanted to avoid it. We're looking after number 7 here. We're looking, we're not useless officials, obviously, because we're here and we're doing the thing. We tried our best to avoid it because we're not useless officials. So we're gonna stay in power, and you're just gonna fucking live with it. But I agree with the idea. If we could just do destroy petty laws and useless officials, I think if we could, instead of avoid, destroy, I would sign up for that.
Destroy. Get rid of. Totally.
Seek and Destroy. Another great Metallica song before they sold out.
Destroy.
All right. Balance personal rights with social duties. What do you think, comrade? What do you think that's talking about?